Welcome to the broadcast. Today we are headed back over to the French Drain project where we left Jordan yesterday to, for the most part, finish up. We'll check and see how he did and start loading out of there, hopefully. This coffee tastes like shit. Let's pull in the Gulf here and get some trash. Boy, that's good. Just to clarify, that poo-poo coffee, it wasn't really McDonald's. That's just a cup I was using from yesterday. I love McDonald's coffee. I wish people would quit suing them for burning themselves so it could be more affordable. All right, just rolling up. It's the first time I'm seeing it as well as you guys. Let's see if we've had any spring heads pop up. All right. Let's see what Master Jordan accomplished yesterday. All right, we've still got the same consistent flow. That's encouraging. Looks like he got her squared up pretty good. Pretty good. I like it. Yep. Just need to do some hand raking. Get these highs and lows down. My boy did here. That's looking good. Good. I like it. I like it a lot. Just a little bit under our feet. There's a whole lot of agua, but you can see firm ground now. That's dry. Got one little spot there. This is where we put this drain in to catch all of this seepage. That's underground seepage right there. It's not coming down. It's coming underground from over there. The neighbor's causing a real problem here. As you can see, now that we've got everything slicked up, it is really, that's not near as much sponge as it had yesterday. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah. Very little flecks in that ground. I don't see any kind of shimmer or seepage or anything. I love this. This is so much fun. We got that all slicked up good. I'm almost encouraged. I had said that I don't want them to let grass grow on this because it'll dry out quicker and better, and there's actually certainly in this area over here, we sunk above our tracks, which is a good 18 inches over in here the other day. But it's really tightening up very well. I like it a lot. See what we did. Looks like he got over through here really nicely. Oh yes, it just looks like a gravel walking path right now. This is exactly what I told him I wanted him to do. Look at that. Nice little Frenchy drain. Nice. I like it. I do want to bring gravel on out through here a little farther, but when he turned this tee up, because we were a little bit short a section of pipe, and I don't anticipate seeing water flowing under here. Yep, dry as a bone, but that's okay. Yeah. Oh, he had to crumple that to get this cap fixed. That's what it was. I messed him up. There. The reason that's not fitting is this is made for a 4-inch piece of pipe to go in there. So what we'll do is make a little extension here from this scrap piece. Maybe. There it goes. And then this cap can go right on there. What we should do is cut this to where that cap will sit down a little farther. But that's okay. That is okay. He had the right idea. He's done exactly what I wanted. I don't know how much, if we have any more gravel, but we'll see. Where did he track? Oh, he tracked across through there. He must have had to do some shovel work. Very good indeed. I like it. Let's see if we got gravel left. Yep, we got a little bit. Awesome. Yeah, like see, we're dry over there, but you can see, I can feel it's a little bit wetter, but this area is even drying up. See that mush? Now watch this. That's drying up too. All of this, you can see those footprints drying up. It's getting tacky. I think even this will dry up. gravel. I just need to cut a little place with my shovel, let that start draining down better. That'll dry it. I told Jordan to leave this little shelf. That way if there's rain and this does flow, water can come down and it'll actually have something to hit. Not that it's gonna make a huge difference. Yeah, definitely right here you can see got a lot of moisture. That's a really slow draining spring, I think. We're gonna fill this whole area in. I'm not worried about these little bits of grass. And Jordan cleaned the leaves out of this trench, but like this little section right here yesterday had little bits of grass, but it was so sparse and so few of leaves, it really wasn't worth cleaning out because we're bedding it with gravel anyway for that water to come up through. So wasn't really worried about it. Every day, every single day, without fail, check your oil. Make sure you're in operating range. So important to take care of your equipment. Keep it maintained, keep it looking nice, and it'll serve you. Now what I've got is that bucket's almost full of gravel. I would guess 1,000 pounds of gravel, and we've got our blade to the front, so we've got a lot of weight on our idlers. What I will do is come up here, even though this is a well-balanced machine, I'm spinning around, and I'm gonna end up spinning all the way around to reduce pressure on that. So what I'm gonna do, spin as I drive across here. Watch where I'm going now. See, these backs are gonna wanna drop down and have weight on them. So once, right before these drive sprockets come off, I'm gonna spin back around and reach out, and that's gonna put weight on these idlers that are now on firm earth. We're just gonna drive right straight across. We're not gonna twist or anything, being careful not to hurt our pipe. Now you can see 3/4 will squish out if you put too much pressure on it. And you can see we've only compressed this ground that much, or the rock. We've not compressed it hardly at all. And that's how you cross your French drain without doing damage. Let's fill this thing in here. Just gotta figure out how to straighten the pipe up. Not in position it said. Sorry. Let me get something to hold that pipe in place. I'll just put a little on there to hold it. And we'll straighten it all out. Jordan's on his way, but I had to send him to help Adam this morning. For a hillbilly. Let's get some more gravel. 2 trips. Actually, it was 1, 2 trips. And you can see that once it's compressed, that's all it's going to compress. And you make all the trips you want, as long as you're careful, you won't crush that pipe. Getting in a hurry in this business will not pay off. I can tell you that from experience. Rats are bad, ain't they?
Yeah.
That dang swamp over there. We'll be out of here before long, though. Thank goodness. Checks us off, you know. Whereas I think we could be done with Tyler's grading today. You know what? I think we could be done with Tyler's grading today. If he's got that tree out of my way, they cut a big tree down.
I seen him when I dropped it off yesterday. That's what I'm saying. I was like, well, that's a mildly inconvenient.
I called him and I was like, there's a tree in this hole he wants to go in. And he's like, oh man, I forgot all about that. I was like, I can push it, but then
it's a big tree.
Yeah, they had to climb it to get it down. That big old Mohegan. I was kind of like, well, I'm not sure exactly where I want to go next. Not positive. We'll go from there. Final recap, friends, we're going to go over this project at the French Drain. Last video from here. I'm tired, new baby, tired, sleepy headed, can't remember nothing from what I've done. When we started here, this whole thing was a swamp. I'll put it up in the upper right hand of your screen. The very first video where we visited this for the first time, total swamp. Then we came in here and we cut that trench from there all the way around. because we found a catch basin, which is on that corner. And then we also came up here, and I just got Jordan doing some very final touches. All this was a swamp. You couldn't even hardly walk through here. We came through, and I used my tilt bucket to just cut a V-ditch down through here to drain water from uphill going downhill. There was no ditch here at all. We just cut a nice little ditch down through there. You can see it clean out there. For this catch basin that we found from a previous drain system that just wasn't done very well. And the trench we dug originally was just a V-ditch using tilt bucket. Went all the way out through there. We had a little high lip, so I just got Jordan tracked it down, and he's going to get that little pile of junk that we dug out from last time. This was our staging area for loading mud and bringing gravel in. It's been a really super fun project. When we originally did this, we thought we were going to have to dig a drain line out through there to the creek, but it just happened that we discovered this drain system that had been put in. There's a 3-inch drain line, I believe it is, runs straight out to the creek. So that gave us a place to start. And then it was just a matter of chasing water uphill. There's a line that comes in here. It runs straight up through there to where Jordan, in front of Jordan, to this catch basin right here. And when we discovered this, it was really exciting. We had no idea that these basins were here. Very important to keep these clean. As you can see, we actually have some water collected in there. It's below the drain line, but when it rains, we now have a good system up here to collect water, run down into here, and it can either run into this, to that catch basin, and if it's a heavy flow, it can run into this ditch, collect into this massive French drain. Now, I'm gonna call this my modified French drain, because a lot of times a French drain, typically you dig a straight trench that's got straight sides, about 18 inches deep. You've got a little gravel in the bottom with a 4-inch pipe resting on that, so water can rise up. My thinking was if we cut V-ditches, same principle as when you cut a ditch that you don't want it to collapse in. When you lay those sides back and it gets wet in there, the soil doesn't get wet and fall in toward the gravel. It's going to stay where it's at better. And when you got laid back, you don't have to use fabric, which is going to clog anyway. And when you've got a clay soil, I feel like fabric is not good. It's just going to clog. But now, like if you're in South Carolina, the coasts, Florida, where it's sandy, you dig those ditches, I think fabric is very effective, because it'll hold the sand back and your gravel in place, but that sand is not going to clog your fabric. Therefore, I feel like in those cases the fabric is good, but with dirt, topsoil, and especially clay, it's not good. It's not good at all. We kind of called an audible at the end. There was going to be a leg here, and then the same length of a leg going straight out through here. But then I thought to myself, we need to catch this water on the uphill side, and when I saw that water was still leaching in, I'm like, let's catch the water before it becomes a problem. Now we still have a little bit of pumping. See if I can find it. See, we still got a little bit of pumping, but the ground is drying out. So when you have bare ground like this, the top layer that's exposed to air, that's going to evaporate quickly, and it's going to create a crust. And it takes time for moisture below that crust to work its way out. Luckily, the previous people that put their drain system in that failed had these veins of gravel. That's going to help this drain. As you can see, this ground is drying up, and it's drying up very well. You hear the bugs in the background. They're out there in a swampy area. And when you see those tufts of really wiry looking grass, that's where you know the ground is really, really wet. It almost looks like needles coming up out of the ground. But this is drying out very, very well. This is actually really good soil. It will take grass very, very well. See how much darker, how black that soil is? That is going to grow grass like you would not believe. But I'm able to walk on it. You see, this is a boot impression. That's my boot. Same tread, but you can see this impression is not as deep now that it's drying out. See, I can press right, I can put all my body weight right there. Barely any indentation. This ground is tightening up very, very well. Once it dries out completely, you'll be able to get an extremely fine grade on it. So that catches us up to where we are now. Everywhere you see gravel, there was a V-ditch dug, a little bed of gravel put in. We used the water line. As we dug this ditch in below our outflow, it created a water line. That told us that we knew there was a good bit of just water, but that separated the bottom of our pipe and the ditch bottom, which is dirt. If you put that pipe down and then put gravel on top of that pipe, it's going to mash it down in that mud, and water can't get into those perforations, yielding it pointless nearly. Absolutely almost pointless. Certainly reducing how fast water can come into that system by about 25%, because on most of these perforated pipes or slotted pipes, there's slots every so many inches, but there's at least a slot on the bottom. Look at it like a clock. There's perforations at 12, 6, 3, and 9. Now some actually double that, and there's actually 8, but we use 4. Once we put that V-ditch in, and you've got we bedded it with gravel up to that water line and just a little below it. So we knew that water would constantly come into that pipe and trickle through. The bottom of that pipe has about that much water constantly running through it, and that's going to keep it washed out as good as possible. The water running out through this system at this point is getting more and more clear, and after a few days it's going to be completely clear, because all that sediment is going to settle down and just pure water is going to run through the system. Right now there is probably, let's see, let's look at the pipe. Let's look and see just how full it is. I believe that a 4-inch corrugated pipe will run 500 gallons a minute. That's pretty good flow. You know, that pipe is nowhere near full. I would say maybe an 1/8 to a 1/10 its capacity. That is a healthy little flow. And it's just crazy to me how well this works, because you've got this pipe under there and all this gravel surrounding it. You would think that it would slow down or stop that flow, but it's actually increased the flow by providing that opening. So the original design was there was 2 veins of gravel that ran all the way through here, surrounded by fabric. I did find one drain pipe that ran right through here, and it was completely full of mud. Anywhere you walked in here, it was like walking on a waterbed. And you can see how effectively this French drain system is drying this out. I'm going to come back, let's say in about a month, and we're going to check this out together. We're going to see how well it's working. We're going to see if this area is still pumping or if it has tightened up. I believe firmly that it will have tightened up. A French drain system works very well for tightening up and draining soggy, wet yards. And this is proof that it's not really hard to do. This is a great project for the DIYer, do-it-yourselfer. You can do this with a shovel from the hardware store. You can buy gravel in bags anywhere, any kind of home store. You can buy 50-pound bags of gravel. Your perforated pipe comes, you can get it in a 100-foot roll, or you can get it in 10-foot sections. Very effective as long as you have gravity on your side. Now, if we were trying to get this area dried up and we were in a low area, we would do this same system, only instead of a catch basin that drains by gravity, we would do a sump basin. And we will get into that in future videos, so be sure to drop us a like, comment sump basin if you want to see a system done with a sump pump. They're very popular in Florida and areas where you're below sea level, or you've built your house down in a hole and there's no way to get that water out. We love you guys. Be sure to drop that comment, sump basin, and we will see you on the next one.